Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
Every time some random dude bro comments on my short hair like it's a red flag, I take such great pleasure in just going and cutting it even shorter. So every time they say it, I just cut it off more because it's fun and why not? It's just hair, so what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. What am I gonna do about it? Cut it even more.
Yeah, I could give a dish. No, what I meant to say is, oh my god, I love how long or how short your hair is. You should absolutely not change anything about it. I know I joked the other day about charging them rent for living in their heads, but I think we should absolutely start doing that. We'll start small at the beginning. Princess, you owe me $100.
I'm an idiot, and here's why. My laundry machine takes quarters. Naturally, I'm like, where does one just get quarters? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on Amazon and buy quarters. You can buy like rolls of quarters on Amazon. I'm like, perfect, I'll do that. And it was like 72 rolls for $10. That the math doesn't equal up, but that's a score. Like I'm getting 72 rolls of quarter sleeves with quarters in them for $10. Like, I'm like, okay, stupid. Amazon's losing money. Get the package. Empty. It's just 72 plain quarter roll sleeves with no quarters in them. I don't really know what I was thinking.
I just wanted to say at first, the future is looking bright, doesn't it? But I realized I feel sorry for the poor girl. I really do. Imagine the tens of thousands of dollars she has in debt just for going to college, and this is her out of college.
In my brain, there's two types of boys. Boys who had iFunny on their phones and boys who had Reddit on their phones. And you get to pick which one's worse. If you said Reddit is worse than iFunny, what the is wrong with you? I dated an iFunny boy once and he ate butter sandwiches. It was cold butter between one piece of white bread. Butter sandwich.
How do you make a sandwich with just one piece of bread? Was this supposed to be a joke? Or are you just one of those college graduates like the previous one?
Here's how I immediately know that a ship is going nowhere fast with a man. When he asks me, where do I want to travel? Am I interested in traveling? If he tries to open any type of long-winded conversation about travel or where I want to go. Because the guys who are really about it like that, they don't have that conversation with you. They just warn you, keep your passport on you at all times. I might want to go to Costa Rica or the Bahamas at any minute and we're leaving tomorrow. Like, are you ready? By the time I'm getting the questionnaire about where I want to travel, am I interested in traveling? I already know. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Let's just skip to the part where we block each other because it's a stupid way of trying to make you think you're going to have a fantasy relationship with them. A lot of these guys will do it very early on. It just lets you know that they have no substance to them. Also, ask yourself, have you ever went traveling with any of those men who ever did that to you? Because I haven't.
Maybe because you blocked them just because they asked you if you like to travel. This is just big stupidity translated into dating advice to women. And the sad part is some women will listen to this and take it for granted. They'll go on a first date, the guy will ask them if they like to travel or if they've been traveling, and they'll just snap, oh screw you, you're not serious, just because they listen to this lunatic.
Attractive people are usually isolated and lonely. So if you're an attractive person, unfortunately, this is something that you're going to have to learn to accept because attractive people struggle with finding genuine relationships, and they're also at higher risk of people attempting to sabotage them. And I'm going to break this down. Now, there was another content creator on here, and from what I gathered in her video, she's a therapist. And in her video, she talks about some of the things that her gorgeous clients struggle with, and she also has explanations, and I love it. Go watch it. This video, I do want to dive deeper as to why attractive people are usually isolated and lonely.
Because they're selfish, shallow, and they have a crap personality. They're not lonely because they're attractive. Everyone wants to be next to attractive people, but sometimes their personality or their character gets in the way. And why would I listen to you? You're just using what some wannabe therapist said. I'm gonna listen to her instead.
If you're a pretty girl, you might struggle with this. This isn't a therapist point of view. I have to explain this to my clients because they don't get it. But I'll have a gorgeous client come in, like a 10, And she'll be like, why is this? I'm like, sweetie, it's because of how you look. And so I have to break it down for them. Then I also have to like teach them how to be more cautious and then how to handle themselves because of what they look like. There's a whole shift in it. So if you're constantly complimented on your looks, there are higher risks for you, okay? In work, in school, in religion, and whatever you do, people are anxiously waiting to see you fail.
Yeah, I lied. I'm not gonna listen to her neither. I'm not gonna say therapy is bananas because it did help a lot of people, at least in some cases. But these wannabe therapists on TikTok, I won't go to them if they paid me. All they're doing is increase the number of crappy personalities in the world. You're lonely because you're perfect and it's never you, it's always everyone else. Come on now.
So I know that this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like men have devalued being a wife, and I don't aspire or feel like being a wife is a flex anymore. Like, I know that this is maybe going to get some women that are married upset or might feel some type of way, but on a weekly basis, even on a daily basis, I see the way men treat their women and the things, or their wives, and the things that they do behind their backs, even when they're pregnant, makes me feel like, do I want to be in that position? Do I want to be the girl that gets played over and over again by their husband? Like, is being a wife even a flex anymore?
No, because it was never a flex, you lunatic. And also, you cannot say, is it a flex to be a wife anymore when you're talking about men? It would have made sense if you said, is it for men a flex to have a wife anymore? And the answer is still no. That was never a flex either. You see on a daily basis how men play their wives? How? How many different men you deal with on a daily basis? Or are you talking about the videos some men haters post on TikTok? Because if that's the case, you need to go outside more.
This is part 2 of I dated women while I had a boyfriend. And before you come for me, my boyfriend knew about this. He was fully on board. I asked for an open relationship. He agreed. And then I had potentially one of the worst days of my entire life with a woman. And if you want to know about all of that, just go back and watch part 1.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. But I did found those numbers somewhere. And here's one more proof that men seem to be the problem. If you're only listening, these are the divorce rates. Men and women 42%, women and women 72%, men and men 28%. What was it? Men and their audacity? Yeah, sounds about right.
If you're trying to improve your Instagram photos because you don't want to do the same like sitting poses, here's some fun sitting poses to mix it up. If you're like kind of like, girl, my face always looks kind of weird during my photos, like I don't know what to do, my best thing to say is like follow your nose wherever your eyes are, okay? At me, your nose is this way. That way you don't get like these weird like side shots where you kind of just are like, your eyes are weirdly directed. Eyes follow nose always, and that way you have some good photo. When you're taking the photo, I always like to, instead of sit like, just straight and boring, I always like to pop one hip to the side when your arm kind of stiff, okay? You always want your elbows to be in, okay? So always, and then just mix it up, with like your smiles or serious, or I hope that helps you mix up your Instagram photos.
Okay, got it. Follow your nose and pop a hip and something with the elbow. No, I don't think it's sad that these are the influencers of today. I mean, let's face it, the Haktua girl made millions and she now has a podcast. So why not listen to this one teaching you how to... Nah, I give up.
The most vulnerable I've ever been with a man is when I sat there and I looked him straight in his eyes and I said, I would have flown an economy for you. And he knew me. And he knows that first class is a boundary because these don't belong in economy. But when I said, I would have flown an economy for you, that's what he knew. I was never coming back.
Oh no, that's what I imagine he said, cause let's face it, he lost a girl who was gonna fly economy for him when she can't afford a trip to the airport. And no, forget about everything else that matters into a relationship. No one cares about any of those anyway. You make a sandwich with just one piece of bread? Absolutely. That doesn't matter, I'm good with that, but flying economy? No, that is what really matters. Alright, and this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.